Hey everyone, Matt here from Docs Running, and today we're going to do a comparison review of the Adidas Adizero Evo SL and the Saucony Endorphin Speed 4. Now the reason I'm doing this is because these shoes are actually fairly similar. They're both really popular for good reasons. They both have super foam midsoles but are not as aggressive as super shoes, and they have nylon stiffening agents, be it a plate or a shank that's long enough that it really is a plate. That gives a little bit of rigidity, but still more flexibility than a lot of other super shoes on the market, and make these really good training shoes, long run, workout shoes, and racing shoes for people that don't maybe want a super carbon plated shoe. And so they're really good for good reasons, but it's also confusing going, hey, if I want this type of shoe, which one should I choose? So that's really the purpose of this review, to help you figure out which one might be better for you. So let's start off with specs first. I'm going to give you these in my men's US size 10 as usual. The Adidas Adizero Evo SL is coming in at 234 grams or about 8.3 ounces. The Speed 4 is coming in at 250 grams or about 8.8 ounces, so a little bit heavy over here. Stack height is also going to be a teeny bit different. The Evo SL comes in at 37 in the heel, 30.5 in the forefoot for a 6.5 millimeter drop. The Speed 4 comes in at 36 in the heel, 28 in the forefoot for an 8 millimeter drop. They're fairly similar. Be aware the Evo SL, that measurement was given to me by Running Warehouse and Adidas. I know there's some different measurements out there. That's just what I was given. They feel fairly similar, but the rides are a little bit different because the Lightstrike Pro runs far softer than the Power Run PB over here. The Endorphin Speed 4 is known to be just a little bit firmer, and that makes sense. It's a little bit snappier, a little bit firmer underfoot. The Lightstrike Pro, as it breaks in, definitely has gotten softer and a little bit more responsive. It's not as responsive as, say, something like the Adios Pro 4, but it's definitely well balanced, meaning that it will respond to the pace that you ask of it. If you run easy, it's going to feel really comfortable. If you start pushing the pace, you're going to start to get more bounce, and especially as you break the shoe in, but it's not super aggressive. It does whatever you want it to do while not being really aggressive out of this world. The Endorphin Speed 4, like I said, is a little bit firmer. It can handle, in my opinion, a little bit faster efforts than the Evo. The Evo does better, in my mind, at long runs. I found long runs can be done in the Speed, but it just gets a little bit firm after a while, whereas the Lightstrike Pro over here does a lot better on 12, 13, 14, 15 mile plus long runs, and I don't get that bottom out feel. But on the other hand, while this shoe has done very well for workouts, I've used both these for track runs, for tempo runs, for long tempo runs, marathon pace kind of stuff. The Speed 4 does better at those shorter distances. If you're getting on the track, you're doing faster tempo runs, the Speed is a little bit better because it's a little bit firmer, in my opinion, if that's something you want. So this is a little bit softer, a little bit more versatility into easy efforts, little firmer, a little bit better into some faster stuff, but both of them can do those very well. It's going to depend on what kind of feel you want. In terms of ride, the Evo SL is going to have the smoother heel of the two of these. The Speed is going to have the more stable midfoot. The midfoot's filled in here. There's a little bit better extensions of the plate and sidewalls in the Speed. The Evo doesn't have that. It's a narrower midfoot. The rear foot is really, really nice and guided lateral. There's a great lateral heel bevel, which the Speed 4 does take some time for that heel to break in, but smoother ride over here, a little bit more stable ride over here, and both of them actually have very similar forefoot where, again, slight stiffness, but it's definitely a little bit more flexible than other carbon-plated shoes. So be aware that if you want a teeny bit of flexibility, both these will have it, but just different heel and midfoot rides. This is the shoe you're not going to want as much if you have like guidance needs, whereas the Speed is probably going to be a teeny bit better for those with mild guidance needs, but they've actually done really, really well in the Evo. So, you know, try it, but that midfoot's not going to work as well for people with guidance stuff. Upper is also going to be very different between the two of these. The Speed runs a little bit more snug. It's got a really significant performance fit. Teeny bit more volume, like its cousin, the Pro 4, but more snug overall throughout the length of this. And upper's a little bit more scratchy. Material's not super plush. It's there to help hold your foot. The Evo has a little bit more plush upper. If you look on the inner liner, it's way softer, way more comfortable, and it's got a wider forefoot. If you need a little bit more snug fit, Speed's going to get better. If you want just a little bit more width in that forefoot, that's where the Evo SL is going to be a little bit better. If the volume is just a teeny bit lower because the toe guard is just a teeny bit stiff up front, but it really breaks in nicely. But this one has more room, and this one runs a little bit more snug. Both of them are really excellent shoes. The last piece from a durability standpoint, I do have to admit, this is my right shoe. The left one, if you've seen photos from our written review, I am tearing this part up. I'm going to re-glue it, but if you're a scuffer like me, kind of scuffs his feet, Evo may not work as well unless you're going to be mostly on your forefoot, because that forefoot rubber is doing phenomenal. In the speed, this has held up really well. I've gotten well over 100 miles in my pair without any significant wear. It's holding on really well. So if you have more durability issues, the speed's probably going to be a little bit better. If you don't, and that's not as big of an issue for you, unless you're a forefoot striker, Evo might work better. So both of them are really great shoes, and they really deserve the credit that they're getting. I will give Adidas a teeny bit more, going, this is 150 bucks, 160, 150 bucks, well, 170 now, as I've seen. So price difference. So I got to give credit to the Evo as being my favorite of the two of these based on comfort. I just wish the outsole would hold up a little bit better. But both of them are really good. Had tons of miles in the speed. Really appreciate it. Really curious to see what they do with the Speed 5. But we'll have to wait for another video on that, and I don't have it yet. So as always, please comment below if you have any different opinions. Please share them, because everybody's got different feet and different responses. And the more we can get below, the more people come to see this video might find something that's helpful. And as always, hope this helps you figure out what works best for you.